Oh, Busola, is that not the latest your bag your friend is carrying? Sharon asked, her eyes narrowing with envy. It is, oh, Busola replied with a scoff. Don't mind her. She thinks she's better than us now. But let's see how long she can keep up with this act. Their voices laced with jealousy reached Adesewa's ears like dagger. She felt the sting of their judgment but kept her head high, refusing to show any sign of weakness. Their words were a harsh reminder that her carefully constructed world will crumble at any moment. Adesewa Adeyemi, a name that has come to represent both ambition and betrayal. To the world, she was the epitome of success, a woman who had climbed from the dusty street of Osun to the glittering heights of Lekki. But behind the designer labels and luxury cars, behind the polished smile and expensive makeup, was a story of longing, sacrifice, and a thirst for more. Adesewa was born into a modest family in a small village in Osun. Her father was a civil servant, a proud man who always emphasized the importance of education. Her mother, a hard-working market woman, juggled taking care of her children and running a small business, selling yams, tomatoes, and beans. Growing up, Adesewa was the pride of her family. She was intelligent, determined, and beautiful. Unlike many girls from her village, she dreamt of a better life, not just for herself, but for her family as well. Her father would often say, Adesewa omo mi, education is your key to freedom. Those words echoed in her mind, and she worked harder than anyone in her class. She was always at the top, winning scholarships and awards, which brought hope to her family. But despite their pride, the Adeyemis knew they couldn't afford much. Even with Adesewa's academic brilliance, there were limits. The dream of a luxurious life seemed so far away until the day she left for university. Adesewa's entry into the university was a turning point. She was no longer the village girl. She was now in a world where she could taste the promise of success. It was there, in the bustling city of Lagos, that she met Chike, a young kind-hearted accountant from a similar background. They connected instantly. Their love was simple at first, built on mutual dreams, shared struggles, and hope for a better future. Chike adored her, and Adesewa thought she had found the man who would stand by her through everything. Together, they dreamt of a better life. After graduation, Adesewa and Chike celebrated their union in a modest wedding ceremony. It was a joyful affair, filled with the love and hope of two young people who believed they could conquer anything together. Soon after, they relocated and settled in Surulere, a bustling but middle-class part of Lagos. Life seems full of promises, but as time went on, reality crept in. Surulere wasn't the dream she had hoped for, far from the lavish lifestyle she admired online. Still, they tried to build a life, holding on to their love and dreams they shared. But for Adesewa, those dreams began to change, becoming more focused on the allure of luxury and wealth she saw others flaunting. Her love for Chike was real, but so was her desire for luxury. And slowly, that desire began to overshadow everything else. It all began at a wedding, one that changed everything. Adesewa attended the wedding of a wealthy couple in Victoria Island, Lagos, where she reunited with an old friend from university, Chinyere. Chinyere was stunning. Every inch of her screamed wealth and sophistication. From her sleek BMW to the diamonds that adorned her fingers, she exuded the very life Adesewa had been craving. Over cocktails and laughter, Adesewa couldn't resist asking the question, "How are you doing it, my friend?" "Tell me, Chinyere." Chinyere smiled, a knowing smile. "I will tell you a secret, Shewa," she began. "There are men out there who are looking for girls like us, young, beautiful, and ambitious. You don't have to do too much. Just be their companion, and they will give you everything you've ever wanted." It was tempting. Adesewa hesitated. She asked Chike, the man who had been by her side for years. Adesewa firmly rejected what Chinyere suggested. insisting that she had her husband, Chike, and they were building a life together. Yet, the seed of doubt had been planted, and it has begun to take root. But as weeks turned into months, and the satisfaction grew, Chike's steady job wasn't enough. Their tiny apartment in Surulere felt suffocating, and the bills kept piling up. A few days later, an invitation arrived. It was a university reunion. A flood of memories overwhelmed her, but instead of excitement, she felt dread. How could she show up looking poor? She imagined the whispers, the side glances, the pity look from those who had made it. The thought of facing her old classmates, draped in their designer outfits, while she arrived in an outdated wardrobe was unbearable. So with a heavy heart and reluctant steps, she found herself reaching out to Chinyere once again. "Are you ready now?" Chinyere asked with a knowing smirk. Adesewa hesitated before nodding. I just need this." With a blend of reluctance and curiosity, she asked Chinyere to introduce her to the affluent men she had mentioned. Maybe, just maybe, it could open a new door for her. Chinyere saw how frustrated Adesewa was becoming with her situation, so she decided to help her. She invited her to a fancy event, even buying her new clothes, shoes, and a bag to make sure she looked the part. At the event, Chinyere introduced her to Chief Bamidele, a wealthy oil tycoon. Adesewa was instantly drawn to him. He was confident, well-dressed, and commanded attention wherever he went. But what really got to Adesewa was the way he showered her with compliments and even made her feel so special. He offered her everything she had been dreaming of: luxury, excitement, and the life she had always wanted. At first, it was just a dinner. But that night, when he handed her an envelope filled with 500,000 naira, Adesewa's resolve wavered. "Buy yourself something nice," Chief Bamidele said, smiling. And that was the beginning of her double life. By day, she was a dutiful wife to Chike. By night, she was living the life of luxury, dining at exclusive restaurants, wearing designer clothes, and traveling to exotic destinations with Chief. She justified it to herself, telling herself that she was helping her family. After all, she was sending money home to her parents and also helping Chike sort the home bills. As the months passed, the lives became harder to maintain. Chike noticed her growing distance. He worked long hours, coming home to an empty apartment, his calls often unanswered. The laughter they once shared had faded, replaced by tension and silence. One night, after Adesewa didn't return home for 2 days, Chike sat waiting in dimly lit living room, his mind racing. The door creaked open, and Adesewa stepped in, looking exhausted but unbothered. "Where have you been?" Chike's voice was low but firm. Adesewa sighed, setting down her handbag. "I was busy." For 2 days, without a single call, his eyes searched her, desperation creeping into his voice. "Shewa, talk to me. What's going on? We are not the same person I married." She exhaled sharply, irritation flashing across her face. "Chike, I have things I'm handling too. You wouldn't understand." His hands clenched into fists, but he forced himself to stay calm. "Then help me understand. We started this life together. I thought we had dreams." "Dreams?" She scoffed. "What dreams, Chike? Struggling to pay rent? Watching others live the life you can only imagine? I refuse to be stuck in the cycle of mediocrity." She thought of their wedding day, how they had promised to build a future together. But dreams don't pay bills, and love didn't buy security. She had outgrown those fantasies. Chike's heart sank. So that's what it is now. Money, status. And here I was, thinking we were building something real. She turned away, unwilling to meet his gaze. "I have to do what's best for me, Chike." "And what about us, Shewa? Or does us not matter anymore?" The silence that followed was deafening. Chike saw it in her eyes. She had already made her choice. Chike couldn't recognize the woman standing in front of him. The sweet, loving girl he had married was gone, replaced by someone he no longer knew. As her relationship with Chief Bamidele flourished, Adesewa grew bolder. She wasn't just seeing Chief anymore. She was juggling other powerful men who showered her with gifts, cars, and jewelries. She became an expert at playing the game, always making sure to keep her blessers in dark about one another. Her new life became addictive, intoxicating, and soon she lost herself in the luxury. But with luxury came competition. Lagos was full of women like Adesewa, beautiful, ambitious, and hungry for wealth. The circles she moved in were cutthroat. Gossip and jealousy surrounded her, and the pressure of staying at the top was overwhelming. At one point, she overheard two women at the party whispering about her. "She thinks she's better than us now," one of them said. "Let's see how long she can last." Adesewa knew she was working on a thin ice, but she didn't care. She was far too gone, too consumed by the lifestyle to turn back. Every game has a breaking point, and for Adesewa, it arrived in form of a confrontation she had never saw coming. One evening, Chike, who had held back his frustration for too long, finally snapped. "Is this how you repay me?" He yelled, his voice mix of hurt and disbelief. "After everything we've been through together, Shewa, what kind of wife are you?" Adesewa felt a chill run down her spine. She stood frozen, her heart pounding. Yet deep down, she had seen this moment coming. Their marriage had been over long before this night. She had made her choice, and there was no turning back. Without another word, she turned and began packing. Each item she folded into her suitcase carried memory of a life she was leaving behind. The weight of her decision settled on her shoulders, but she pushed forward, determined not to waver. Chike watched in silence, his expression shifting from anger to despair. "So that is it?" he asked, his voice cracking. "You're just going to walk away?" She met his gaze for the last time, her voice barely above a whisper. "I can't do this anymore, Chike." And with that, she stepped out of the apartment, her footsteps echoing in the hollow silence. Chike's voice trailed behind her, filled with sorrow, but she didn't stop. She had already left emotionally, mentally, and now she left physically. She hesitated at the door. For a brief second, she imagined turning back, falling into Chike's arm, pretending everything was fine. But the illusion shattered. She had already made her choice. Without looking back, she stepped into the unknown. As she disappeared into the night, a strange mix of freedom and emptiness settled within her. She had gotten what she wanted. Adesewa had it all: money, power, men, but at what cost? She had sacrificed everything she once held dear: her marriage, her values, and her very own soul. The life she had chased for so long now felt hollow. The parties, the men, the luxury, it was all meaningless. She was alone, isolated, and yet she kept pushing forward. Her final challenge came when she met a powerful politician who offered her a new world, one filled with even more danger, deceit, and consequences she couldn't foresee. Adesewa's rise to bottom had been fast and furious, but success always comes at a price. As she looked out from her luxurious apartment in Lekki, she wondered, was it all worth it? In the end, Adesewa Adeyemi had become a blessed girl, but at what cost? This was only the beginning of her journey, a journey filled with darkness, ambition, and the haunting question of what it truly means to be blessed. As we reach the end of Adesewa's journey for now, remember that this is just the beginning of a story filled with choices, consequences, and unexpected turns. If you want to find out what happens next in her life, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for part 2. Trust me, you won't want to miss what unfolds. Thanks for joining us and see you next time. Naija Life Stories, bringing life to every tales. Bye.